Không lá. Yellow or brown?
Hello. I'll pour some in that other one.
This is an art form that has been passed down from one generation to the next. It's full of deep tradition and also new innovations, and that's what makes it so exciting. The Kluge-Ruhe Aboriginal Art Collection is the only museum of Indigenous Australian art outside Australia. And our current exhibition, With Her Hands, focuses on fiber work made by women from Gapuwiyak, a small Indigenous community in northeast Arnhem Land.
The kinds of fibre art objects that you see in this exhibition are really a part of everyday life in your communities, but they also carry this huge amount of cultural significance. The original fibre objects were brought by the ancestral beings themselves. Ceremonial bags are often the most cherished and significant of ceremonial objects. Now, they're not the kinds of objects that we have in this exhibition, but in recreating these, in making them every day, in putting them out into the world, the women are keeping that tradition and that meaning alive. I think to even begin to understand how important these objects are and what they mean to their makers and the communities, you have to sit down and watch how they're made.
Yo, marayako Lucy, waninayara ka Gapuwiyak. Nawalara marimoy, momoy, ka ngadi pringo rako. Ukwera tarukya mana dalingongo para nirprano. Ukwera wadinyai nautinano para kong nirpan minano mara ko chamar kre mara para maringit tangono darinya.
She taught me when I was 12 years old. So I used to sit and watch my mom. I learned from her, then got all the knowledge and put it in my mind.
Two of the artists featured in the exhibition, Lucy Wanapoingu and Anna Malabier, they were able to come here to Kluge-Ruhe to work with our students and to help them understand the techniques and processes that go into making fiber objects and their meaning as well.
This was really one of the hardest exhibitions that I've ever had to work on. Lucy holds so close to her heart all of the meaning that is in these objects. Those ancestral connections are so personal, they're actually a part of who she is. And they're not things that she can share with just anyone. They're not things that she can share with strangers. And they're not things that she can share with men. There was a great moment when we were doing the research when Lucy Wanapoingu was trying to get across to the other curators the importance of one of the works in the exhibition. And she looked over to me and she said, "No, Napapi, you've got to leave the room now." And I had to go and sit outside, outside the door and wait quietly until she was prepared to come back in. What makes this collection so extraordinary is that many of the works were produced specifically for Louise, who was adopted into the community, who lived with the community, who sat and listened and learned with her hands.
I'm Louise Hanby. I'm a research fellow at Australian National University in Canberra, and I've been working as an anthropologist in Arnhem Land for decades.
She's built a massive private collection of fiber art.
Mats, string bags, baskets, jewelry, hats even.
That is really the best contemporary collection in the world.
I fell in love with work when I still lived in America. So I think, though, a pivotal point, if you'd like, for me, was after looking at these beautiful things in museum collections, I realized I'm not really going to know anything about these beautiful objects unless I actually talk to people who make them.
For an expert like Lucy, how long would it take her to make a basket?
Everyone asks me that question and I say that's a terrible question. Because when you say, how long does it take a basket, you have to take into consideration multiple factors. There's no shop to go and buy materials. You have to collect all the materials. And if you want to have color, you also have to collect all the dyes. Each of the materials has to be prepared. Each of the dyes have to be prepared. You have to dye the fiber, and this is before you ever sit down and make a single stitch. You might spend a whole week just collecting material and not making anything.
Lucy is quite a pioneer in experimenting with dyes. I always say if Lucy hadn't grown up in Gapuwiyak, but in maybe in Germany, she would be an alchemist, or she would, be a doctorate in chemistry. Everything for her, when she looks at a new material, is an opportunity to find out where she could use that as a color in her weaving. And I think that's really what sets her apart from a lot of other artists in Gapuwiyak.
Ngalap naman na po ani uri-puri po minche kayul ngoyang olewani pala naman we nayak ko ya.
It's not hard to understand Louise's enthusiasm for fiber arts and also her love of Lucy as an artist. She has really established a place for women as fiber artists among the leading Indigenous artists of Australia.
No one really thought about these objects as being anything other than domestic items or things that people made to sell. It's only through working particularly with women for decades and trying to promote their work and have people in the outside world actually look at them with different set of eyes that has made the difference. In Gapuwiyak, women are now making things for the art market rather than for carrying honey or for going fishing and putting their fish in. But they're techniques that have been around for thousands of years.
Why is it important that this work continues to be taught?
For future, we can be strong. So one day, if maybe my mom will born, so I'll be there. I will be teacher, or for my brother's kids, I will teach them how to make. Tell them we're going to collect pennies, and because I know how to collect and split, collect all the dye and dye all the colors.